episode 58. Thank you all for listening to episode 57, Hangman Hernandez. I'm Gary. Here with my co-host. By the way, I didn't tell him what it was named.
Jeez, no, you did not. I was going to ask you.
Give me an H, please.
Good Lord.
What?
Oh, it's way too early for that. Jeez.
What? What's wrong with it? You never played Hangman as a kid?
I did.
In school?
I did.
Well, there you go.
Time.
Okay.
Again, I'm Gary here with my co-host.
Whew. Bear. E.
Bear E?
Bear E.
Nice. And?
Dub.
All right.
Dubzilla or just Dub? Dubzilla next
Dub.
week.
Maybe.
Maybe on Wednesday. Thanks to Wes Anderson for Moments in Time. Check him out on Facebook, Wes Anderson Music. Give him a follow on Twitter at Songs by Wes. Thanks to All Wear Clothing, first and primary sponsor of OTL Sports Podcast. Thanks to Crandall's Quality Lawn Care. Give them a call, 419-704-5471. They serve the Toledo and surrounding area and not...
Oh, no, you want to... do we do Macedonia?
Was that the place like before the Earth became one? No, it's Pangea. Sorry, go ahead.
Macedonia works.
My
I
bad.
thought you were going to say macadamia nut.
Good cookies.
Actually, very underrated.
Very underrated.
Very. Very.
Good. I'm happy we agree on that. What's your thoughts on oatmeal raisin?
I like them.
I like
as long
them.
as they're good.
They're
and
shit.
Well.
Yeah. They have to be cooked well.
You old people and your fiber.
I need my fiber. I can't even. Oh, this is great. Who's next? Verizon. Thank you to Verizon. Thanks to PNC. Visit Cassandra at PNC. And, of course, Charlie's Dodge, Ben Meyer. Thank you. Let's get into Justin on the Twitter. With the upcoming Ed Hulk Hogan biopic starring Chris Hemsworth in mind, what actor would star in a Scott Steiner movie? What other actors would be perfect fits for wrestlers? Scott Steiner movie. Who would star as Big Poppa Pump?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
What?
What? Why not?
Really?
Give me like a...
First thing that came to my head.
I'll take Tom Hardy.
Could see it.
He could do it.
That's a good one, actually. Yeah, Tom Hardy. I have no
You know who else would be good? One of the greatest of all time, Meryl Streep. She pulled off.
I thought you were going to say Tom Hanks.
For Steiner?
She pulls off all characters.
I could see her being Scott Steiner. She got to get to the gym, but
She's got all numbers.
Freaks and peaks.
freaks.
And by the way, this episode is dedicated to Scott Steiner.
He's
You're
not
welcome,
dead.
Jason.
We're just dedicating it to him.
Dedicating? Oh, gosh. Anybody else out there? So I've got a list. I've got Jack Black could be Bam Bam
God.
Bigelow.
Or Kevin Owens.
Yeah. I've got, and here's what, you got to think about this one, though. So, very much a gets into character actor. Christian Bale as Ultimate Warrior.
Would really have to get into the gym.
Well, he'd have to get into the gym. He could do it.
Well, I mean,
but they could just...
He did just fatten himself up for be Dick Cheney, so.
Right, and the Machinist, he was a twig. And,
Oh, no,
all I
that's
thought
crazy.
of was him yelling as Batman and him doing that in Ultimate Warrior promos.
No, yeah, I could see it.
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Yeah. Dwayne Johnson as The Rock.
I couldn't see that. I don't think that would fit.
Maybe Vin Diesel.
There you go. That'd be better.
James McAvoy. You familiar with James McAvoy?
Sounds familiar, but
He was in, what was the Glass that just came out?
Oh, that guy, yeah.
You know, the bald
yeah.
guy. Him, and he was also in Star Trek. He could easily be, look at him with longer hair, he could easily be, because he's a good character actor too, Roddy Piper. Check him out. And then,
Yeah.
you'll like this one, Will Ferrell as the gobbledygooker.
he'd be goofy as shit. So
Do you
I
know
could
who?
see it.
You know who was actually behind that though? Under that mask?
No.
Terry Taylor. No, he's the Red Rooster.
Hector
No idea.
Guerrero.
Okay.
I think I heard that before. Yeah.
So thank you, Justin, on the Twitter. We'd love to hear what you have too. So if you could let us know who you're thinking. So Jake's picks, like we said last Sunday, I was going to ask Jake once we got on the road, and I asked him that night. I almost forgot, and I texted the boys after. So I gave him all the matches that were going to happen, quote unquote, that night, which were actually the week before. And Jake went 2-5 for an event that already happened. So he is not
great.
Yeah, so he is now at 7-9. I believe it's his overall record. I had it up. Oh, I'm in the wrong one. Elimination Chamber. He is 7-9. Brandon 10-6. I'm 14-3. Bear 14-2. Bear's winning something else.
And what, Fastlane is 2 weeks away?
Next week.
Next Sunday. A week from today.
Oof. Jesus. How time flies when you're having fun.
Right. All right. So we're just moving right along. So All Elite Wrestling. So this is fun. Chris Jericho, I was reading something about what he had said. Not in regards to All Elite Wrestling. I'm just taking him because he signed to them. Do you know what his name was what he wanted to call himself before he was Chris Jericho?
No. The Executioner.
You know what his real name is, first off?
Chris Irvine.
Yes.
Chris what?
Irvine.
Did not know that.
His dad
The
plays in the
Vine
NHL.
Swinger.
Yep.
Nice.
No, that's not what it's going to be, but good call.
Like El Rico or something?
No, he wanted to call himself Jack Action. He thought he was going to make $1 million and then told somebody. They thought it was stupid, and he played it off, and he agreed. They asked his name, and he saw a Halloween album and said, Chris Jericho. He said, you could be talking to Jack Action if things had gone differently. Pretty interesting. Another fun thing actually coming out of AEW, Cody is scouting stadiums for future shows. What are your thoughts?
Well, we'll see how this one goes in Vegas first. I mean,
They're sold out.
It doesn't
A lot of it is scalpers, which people don't tell you about, but still, they sold out. If they had a stadium, where would be the first one? This is an easy answer.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't think it'd be an easy answer. There's a lot of stadiums.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be in Vegas if that's where
Apparently
you're
it's
thinking.
not easy for you and me because I have no idea.
Who owns AEW?
Oh,
Jags. Yeah, duh.
There you go. Easy answer. Anything else on AEW from anybody?
No, I haven't seen much.
Yeah. There
Wasn't Jericho at Flair's birthday party?
Yes, he
though?
Yes, he was. And
Yeah.
because people tried to make something out of it. And no, Triple H and him
No,
took a picture. Because
I didn't
Jericho
take
posted it. They took a picture. He's like,
Yeah.
here, start whatever you want, kids.
Yeah, I didn't take anything out of it. I just, it's birthday
I
celebration.
was reading a story, too, about, you remember when Jack Swagger cashed in his money in the bank?
Swagger.
Jack Swagger cashed in his money in the bank. So back on Jericho in 2010.
Yeah.
So they talked about it, and they had a meeting, and they had him come into SmackDown. And Edge goes into the room for Vince, and then Jericho goes in, and Jack's trying to go, and he says, no, stay out here, kid. And then Jericho basically straight-faced him because they asked, Jack was on Edge and Christian's podcast, and Jack's like, yeah, he just looked at me and said, don't fuck this up, kid. And then he's like, I still don't know to this day if he was serious or pulling a rib or what he was saying. And Edge is like, no, he was probably very serious, but testing you at the same time to see if you would react. And then he executed the gut-wrench powerbomb out there. Well, and Vince, the only thing that Vince told him is, you should have hit Edge harder with the briefcase.
You gotta love Jericho though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Love
good
Chris.
stuff.
And by the way, I know you like some of Fozzie's music. So one of the songs that is from the album, that Judas was on.
Yeah.
I know you like that song. They overplayed it though on whatever thing what station you listen to?
Octane. Yeah.
I know they overplayed it a lot. It's a great song, but one I heard is they had on the website for his podcast, and it's on that same album. Is called "Burn Me Out." Check that out. It's actually a really good one. I enjoy it. It's pretty fun. Brandon, do you listen to Fozzy at all?
Not as much as you guys.
Well, that's okay.
I mean, when we were looking at songs for to kick off our show, I thought I was listening to a couple. I mean, it's good. Did I listen to more? No.
Right.
It's good music.
So
Just not
it's not your thing. It's okay. So let's get into the Raw recap.
What is your music?
I want to hear that before we get into the Raw recap. Let's go.
My music. I like country, so
Oh God!
Yeah.
All right, go into the Raw recap.
yeah. So
Nope,
that's why
just go into the Raw recap. I didn't want to hear it.
exactly. That's why I didn't really bring it up.
Okay. So
Sorry.
we're
What I like,
gonna start with the good, and
but I listen to anything. So there you go. Now I'm done. Hey, you guys don't like being cut off, huh? Go ahead. Raw recap.
I think Hangman Hernandez is not happy right now. So we'll start with the good, which was the end.
You should ask him.
Which is the end of the show. They did the Ric Flair. It was his birthday, 70th birthday. They were doing the celebration, and out came Stephanie and Hunter, and then they called out Shawn Michaels, and then Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Sting, and then Ric Flair's music hits. He doesn't come out, and you're like, oh, cool, something's up, and you don't know what it is, and then all of a sudden it cuts to the back, and you see Batista charging to Ric Flair's locker room, opens the door, and then, goes in, drags out Ric Flair, and just basically says, hey, Hunter, do I have your attention now? So it told us multiple things. A, I love when Batista's back because heel Batista's the best. And also, that tells us Hunter is cleared.
Yeah,
that injury.
That's what I was kind of worried about, too, because obviously we're in WrestleMania season, and with his injury, which was, in November? So 3-4 months ago?
Survivor Series, right?
Yeah.
Or no, it was Crown Jewel, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Crown Jewel.
When he got hurt, with Michaels.
Because
it was Michaels.
And he finished the match.
Yeah, because he got hurt early. Because when he does his normal flip over the rope and he got hurt down there, and then, you see that whole thing at the end where Shawn says, we're too old for this shit.
Right.
And, but no, I was just going to say, that shows that he's cleared, so which is good.
But before this show, Bear and I were talking, before you got here, Brandon, Bear and I were talking about Hunter and how he's 47, but his body looks like ours should look if we worked out at 30. And the guy is just insane. And like you said, he doesn't put any toxins in his body, never has, never did roids, none of that.
No steroids, never drank.
Lifted every day.
Smoke. Yeah, didn't do any of that. I mean, that's what we were talking. He got into the clique that way because he was their DD. He didn't drink.
Yeah, kid, come on. You could be in here.
So he drove him around everywhere. He drove around Michaels and Nash and Hall and all them.
Shawn Michaels.
X-Pac.
All right, so what I thought was going to happen because Becky got arrested, for showing up, I was like, oh, great. So she's just going to bust out of jail, and that's how they're going to do it. Nope, Swerve got me pretty good that Batista showed up.
Yeah, it was still good. I like how they're still, involving her, not having her be out for 50 days. So I think it's good that they're still bringing her in.
So I wanted to open with a good. We're going to put in the other stuff, and then we're going to end with the best thing that happened that night. That was second best, the Batista thing. Ronda laid down her title to Stephanie.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw that. She basically
I
forfeited, laid down the title.
I literally fell asleep like 10:30, so of course I missed
the
I saw the highlights.
Aleister Black and Ricochet beat the Revival. Another good match watching Ricochet and Aleister Black. Elias got interrupted a lot, and and which was good. And then didn't Dean give him the dirty deeds later on or during that time?
Didn't they fight?
He gave him the dirty deeds. That's right. They didn't fight. He called out Drew McIntyre, and then Elias came out later and interrupted. Yes, and Lacey Evans. That whole thing's funny, but I know why they're trying to do it. She just walks out and walks back, but they're trying to do it so people can see who she is because they really think she's going to be a top echelon woman, or they don't say divas anymore, but superstar, women's superstar. No. Kurt Angle beat Jinder, and it was good for Kurt Angle nowadays. Finn Balor beat Leo Rush, kept his title. Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley was supposed to happen, but never did. And then Bayley beat Nia Jax. So really good. But the biggest thing that happened was Roman Reigns returned. We find out that he's in remission, and then which is great news for everybody. You could see that everybody was cheering him on. I'm like, he probably is going to be that face. It's going to take this to come back and him be a face. Right. And now that this has happened, he will be Vince's face once he returns. He said he's back full time. We don't know what that means. We don't know when he can wrestle. Maybe they do a Shield type thing where the Shield all get back together, kind of a send off for Dean if he does leave. They could.
Because I don't think they'll do it again though. They just did it last year? Not even. Probably less than a year.
Well, when he left, October 22nd is when they broke up because Dean attacked Seth later that night.
You're right. Okay, yeah. So
but they could do it because there's no other room. Well, Seth's fighting. Well, they can't do it. Seth's fighting Brock. What are we thinking about here? Seth is fighting Brock.
Yeah, I don't think they. Like I said, I don't think they will right now. It's just not the. I don't think it's the time to do it right now. So we'll see. But I mean, maybe it's a turn off of Seth then when he comes back, and then maybe Seth turns or something. Who knows? We'll see.
Could happen. And then also Brock was not there, of course. He never is.
But no, just to go back to Roman Reigns, that was great to hear him come out. That's how they started the show. And I know I texted you and I said, okay, maybe The Rock will come out or something.
And then I told him, I was like, why would you ruin
well,
this?
Well, because it's great that they did that. They said, he said he's cleared, but then I'm thinking, okay, this is the WWE. Vince is probably thinking something. He's gonna, maybe, I don't know. I was just thinking way far out of the box. Maybe The Rock comes out or something and then sets a story for WrestleMania. I don't know, but no, it was good that he came out, started that off, got the reaction that he did, said that he was in remission. That's awesome. So yeah, see when he comes back.
And then on Tuesday, SmackDown, we had 2 big returns. Matt Hardy returned. Looks like broken Matt Hardy's gone. Matt, he did the delete a few times, but shaved face Matt Hardy. Back to normal, black hair.
You see he's jacked too?
Yeah, he's...
I heard he lost some weight.
Oh, he's cut up.
He's looking really good.
He posted a picture, and he was saying that his wife cooked, she helped him because she went on a diet too, and they all they did was go healthy, and he has a 6-pack again. I don't even think he had that when he was younger.
Well, why did he retire? Do you guys know why he retired?
Who?
Matt Hardy.
He didn't retire.
Well, he didn't officially announce it, but they said he basically was saying that he was done.
Yeah, he was hurt.
He didn't announce to say I'm retired, but he said I'm.
He was like, that was my last match, but obviously it wasn't.
Yeah,
he was
obviously
hurt.
It wasn't.
He was hurt.
I don't know what he did. I don't know if it was his knee, his back, or just or something. But
right, and then so the Hardys, they beat the Bar, so we know that.
We are the Bar.
We are the Bar. Ricochet and Aleister Black were on this show. They beat Shinsuke and Rusev. That is huge.
That was a good match.
That was a very good match. Charlotte came out, did another promo, called Lynch a criminal and Rousey a quitter. She made charity work sound like it's shit. And then she just basically assumed she's going to walk in Monday and be crowned the women's champ. AJ Styles cut a quick promo, and then like we all thought earlier this year or the end of last year that he's probably going to fight Orton at WrestleMania. And he said the house that AJ Styles built, and Orton just turned to him and it's like, what?
Yeah, I saw that.
And just shook his head and moved on. And that's where I was like, maybe you're right, because I always thought that Orton was like maybe 6'1", 6'2". He probably is about 6'4", because I think AJ's like 5'11". He was almost a whole damn head over him.
Yeah.
I'm like, whew, he's pretty huge. Lacey, not like that. Lacey Evans.
Did you shake his hand?
Yeah, get these hands. Lacey Evans did her nightly walk, and I don't know. But
her nightly walk.
That's basically what it is. Her music comes on, she walks out, and she goes back. The end. Here's the big thing: they were going to do the contract signing for Kofi. I don't know if you saw this. We kind of talked about it. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Well, Kofi was coming out to do the contract signing with Daniel Bryan, getting ready to sign. Vince's music hits. What does Vince do? He's like, "You've done great here 11 years, but I have somebody that's more deserving. Kevin Owens." Here comes Kevin Owens.
I did see that he came back.
Kevin Owens walks in, signs the contract, done deal. Fastlane. Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan. So, the other guys in the New Day are just like, what does he got to do? What else does he have to do? 11 here. Ah! And they freak out. So, the end of the night, the main event was a tag team match, Kofi Kingston and Kevin Owens versus Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan. Kevin Owens did get the pin on Daniel Bryan.
Good match.
Yes, it was.
With what?
The stunner.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you how you felt about that. That he did the stunner.
I was not happy, but I was happy to see the move.
Yes. So he wasn't happy, but he was happy to see the move. But he executed it well, and Daniel sold it well. And Kofi flew off the top and did like a kind of soaring through the air to hit Kevin Owens, but to hit Eric Rowan.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm thinking. Wonderful.
Holy moly! Jesus.
Good one.
Brandon.
Jeez, Brandon.
Wow. That coffee's getting to you first thing in the morning.
Pumpkin spice.
What'd you have for dinner last night?
Pumpkin
so
spice
you're gonna turn this around on me, right? Okay.
Turn what around on him? What am I turning around?
Clearly you. Good Lord, man.
Dude, we know you had pumpkin spice burritos last night. It's okay.
Okay, yep, turn around on me.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's a natural bodily function.
No,
dude, you literally just ripped ass like we were just like fucking... Like,
he said it again, finally.
Yes! Nailed it! That's all I got to do. Woo!
So you
just got to rip ass for me to cuss.
Well, it's not like you, hey, episode 14, thank you all for listening to... just cut us off. Like, what the hell? At least he just kind of owned it up in here, so we've all ripped ass on the show.
What you're talking about.
I don't either. So...
that one's a little bit rough, too, though. Pungent.
So here's what I think. I'm going to do some...
to the bathroom.
I hope they do this. Is that they kind of like Daniel Bryan WrestleMania 30 kind of the underdog here. You know what they're going to do with Becky Lynch. I think she wins the title at Mania. I would be happy if they give it to Kofi at Mania. I think this sets up Kofi and Daniel Bryan at Mania. That's why they put the filler in with KO at Fastlane.
Yeah.
Because people do want to see Kofi and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania.
It'll be a hell of a match. But
Kofi is...
man, I'd like to see Kofi win it.
Exactly.
Maybe Fastlane he could do it. But
I want him to win it at Mania. Be a big deal. He'll probably carry it for a month or two. Kind of similar to what they do with Mark Henry. You know, he got it, carries it for a month or two, and he's done. Mm-hmm. So it's probably similar to what they would do.
So let's kind of make a prediction. If that happens,
Kofi wins.
Does that cause friction between the New Day and the New Day breaks up?
That's one of the top-selling merchandise groups.
That's what I'm saying. They can never break up to me. For me,
they won't break up. But you know what I would see? What I do see happening.
Maybe step away, take a break.
No, I see him as champ, and I see a lot of feuding going on. I think you've got Eric Rowan, Daniel Bryan, and Harper returns.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
3-on-3 there.
I don't know, man. It's just something about like you said, maybe it is. Maybe I'm just overthinking it, kind of like the Eddie Guerrero sort of thing. But Eddie didn't win it at Mania. He won it before. Benoit won it at Mania. You know, it's one of those guys who put in their due and probably have deserved it and haven't gotten it yet. So it would be cool if they did. Don't get me wrong. I think that'd be awesome. I honestly thought he was going to get it in Elimination Chamber.
So did I.
That match was amazing.
It was
if they
incredible.
could put on another match like that,
and they were only the end of it, so they've got a whole match they can do. I think they can do it.
And they were they probably. I mean, the time that they wrestled each other just once everyone was out was probably 12, 15 minutes, I'd guess, right?
Yeah, about on Raw they wrestled for 25.
That was SmackDown, I thought, wasn't it?
Or SmackDown. Yeah, I was there.
That was when you were at.
Yeah, I think so. So we'll see what happens. Just early prediction. I think we all agree that Becky's going to win the title. Just how they're playing that off. They're going to put her in the match. Yep. Seth, I think, will beat Brock. I think we got potential to see 3 big titles change hands. I don't know who the hell's going to fight Asuka.
Was she hurt or?
I don't know what they're doing with that.
She just got beat by Mandy Rose.
Who's going to be the front runner for that? I don't even know who the front
Mandy
runner
Rose. She's fighting her at Fastlane.
Huh? I don't know.
I don't know. You've got nobody else on SmackDown because your big two,
that's
Charlotte and
you have to keep Charlotte on.
Naomi, Carmella. Give it Carmella. Mm-hmm.
Carmella. You say Carmel?
Yeah.
Hello.
Carmel.
Hello.
Carmella.
Hello. Hey.
Hey. Wonderful.
Just working on all cylinders.
All right, so let's get to what we were here to talk about. Mr. Scott Steiner.
Where did he go to college?
Michigan.
Unfortunately, yeah.
You know where he was trained, right?
Yeah.
Where?
Toledo.
Oh, trained? Detroit.
Toledo.
Oh, it was Toledo? Well, there you go. I thought it was Detroit.
No.
Sorry.
Why'd you laugh at Scott Steiner? That's his name.
I know it is. It's funny because it's his brother's name. That's why I thought it was funny. I always think it's funny.
I thought you were just naming the brothers, but I guess not.
No, so he has 2 children. He's been married to the same woman since 2000, which is kind of weird. How old is he?
48.
57.
He will be this year. He's 56. He will turn 57 2 days after the Pod Beats Blogs.
Hall of Famer?
July 8th.
July 29th.
That was close.
What?
Hall of Famer?
Is he going to be?
Yeah, do you guys think?
No, Vince hates him.
Oh, really?
Vince hates Honky Tonk Man too, and he's going into the Hall. So
yeah, finally.
Fine. No one likes him. No, but that's why he hasn't been there. Nobody likes him.
Hey, you know who he trained under Dr. Jerry Graham Jr. at Torio's Health Club in Toledo, Ohio.
And the original Sheik, I think, too.
Yeah, I think.
Because that's who ran the territory.
Well, he's trained by Dr. Jerry Graham Jr. Yeah, he was in. Where did he start out at? World Wrestling Association in 1986. He beat the Great Wojo for the WWA World Heavyweight Championship. Held it until 1987. Lost it to Wojo in Toledo.
Where? Sports Arena?
Doesn't say. Probably at that point.
What? Look it up. You can look up the events. You know that, right?
Yeah,
Sports
it'll
Arena.
take me
I did
forever.
that one time, like WWE.
But for WWA, I don't know if that would have been at the Sports Arena. It was probably at Scott High School gym.
That's
Very possible.
Toledo. I mean, Toledo is a good wrestling town.
So
Yeah.
after he left there, he went to the Continental Wrestling Association, which is Memphis-based, because we're talking at this point there were still some little territories left.
What year is this?
This is 1988.
88. Okay.
So he's there for a little bit, and he got a tag title, moved on. He was there a couple times, and then where did he go? Do you remember? In 1989.
They couldn't have gone to WCW that early, did he? Already? Okay.
89 to 92, WCW.
Wow.
And then left and came back.
Yeah, and then Rick was there with him. But I think his big time in his early part of his career, we can move on, is 1992 to 1994. Who were the two men that were enamored with Scott Steiner and pitched the idea to Vince to have him come in as a surprise entry in the Royal Rumble in 93 and win the event?
93.
And then go on to win the title at WrestleMania 9. But Vince didn't like
Ric
this.
Flair.
Flair was...
No,
he would have been gone right around then. So
yeah, two people who pushed for this. So you got to think talent relation officials.
JR wasn't there yet. So probably Patterson.
Yeah, Pat Patterson and Briscoe.
Not Briscoe. Patterson and... Who else would have been there?
JR.
Bill Watts?
Think recent news. Our boy.
Oh, Bruce
Pritchard and Pat Patterson. So they wanted they pushed this, and Vince did not like the idea for both the Steiners, and both the Steiners themselves had the desire to remain as a tag team. So he booked them as such.
Okay.
So
interesting.
Pretty big, that's a big thing for what we see. And they feuded a lot with, Money Inc.
Yep.
So you got Ted DiBiase and IRS. Yep. Erwin R. Shyster, who was also Mr. Bray Wyatt's dad, Bray Wyatt Sr., we'll call him. Yep. So they had, what did they had? King of the Ring on June 13th, Steiner Brothers and Smoking Guns, Billy and Bart. Billy Gunn, who is Kip Sop, who is a producer, the first producer for AEW, by the way, beat the Head Shrinkers Money Inc. in an 8-man tag match the following evening in Columbus, Ohio. They beat Money Inc. for the tag titles. So they go back and forth with this quite a bit. And they beat the Heavenly Bodies, which Tom Pritchard, Bruce's brother, at SummerSlam in their home state of Michigan and walked away victoriously with the pinfall. So later on, the Steiner brothers eventually left in WWF in 94. Where did they go in 95?
WCW.
Not yet.
WWCW?
ECW.
EC-Dub.
EC-Dub.
That was it. It was WCW, ECW, or WWF.
They debuted in ECW at Orange County Fairgrounds in Middleton, New York, defeating the Dudley Boys and Vampire Warrior. Interesting.
You ever get on the network and watch some of that old ECW stuff?
Yeah.
Oh God, it's such a bad production.
Brutal.
I feel like I could have bought a camera and I did better.
Right. So in 96, they returned to WCW. Who did they win the tag titles from?
What year? 96?
Yes.
96.
No. Harlem Heat.
I would have thought the Dungeon of Doom. So, good.
Nice.
Good.
Harlem Heat. And then after the formation of the NWO, they feuded with the Outsiders, who had won the tag titles from Harlem Heat. Lasted until 96, until early 98. The Steiners also feuded with NWO members Vicious and Delicious. You remember them?
Buff Bagwell and who was the other dude? Scott
Norton?
Scott, no.
Yeah, it was Scott Norton.
Oh, is that when they were in? That was when they were in NWO.
Yeah, because Vicious was Scott Norton and Delicious is obviously
Buff Bagwell. Because Buff was with what's Scott? Who was the other one? He was dude with the eye patch later on. Scotty Riggs. That's who it was before. The American Males.
Right.
The worst song ever. American Males. American Males. American Males.
So
American Males.
It says from 97 to 98, Steiner underwent noticeable physical changes, such as massively increasing his muscle mass, cutting his signature mullet, and growing a goatee. During this period, he began feuding with NWO member Buff Bagwell.
Okay.
Over who had the better physique.
Buff the stuff.
He began leaving Rick in the ring by himself during tag matches or starting the match without even ever tagging his brother in. Nice. So he joined NWO in 98, attacking his brother Rick while they were defending the tag team titles against the Outsiders. The next night on Nitro, he adopted a new gimmick, dyeing his hair and beard blonde, increased his muscle mass, adopted the nickname. You remember his first nickname?
No,
White Thunder.
I did not know that at all, actually.
In reference to his bleached hair and goatee and all his whites and his all-white singlet. And Superstar is an homage to Superstar.
Billy Graham.
Correct. However, he got rid of both nicknames and he proclaimed himself as
Big Poppa Pump.
Holler if you hear me.
Genetic freak.
Yes. He altered his attire. He began wearing sunglasses. And what did he wear as headgear?
His mesh
chain-
whatever. What
Chain
is it?
mail.
Chain,
Yeah, whatever it's called.
Which is awesome, by the way.
Yes, it is.
If you could pull it off, it's pretty badass.
He then began teaming with his former rival, Buff Bagwell, and remained a member of the NWO. He had some championship reigns as heavyweight champion in 99 to 2001. He feuded with Goldberg, DDP, Booker T, Rey Mysterio. He won the U.S. title, World Television title. He was sidelined, had a back injury, stripped of the U.S. title, as we all remember this. After the NWO disbanded, he joined the Millionaires Club in their feud with Vince Russo and Eric Bischoff's New Blood stable, turning face for a brief time.
Ugh, that's such bad WCW right there.
Yeah,
Vince Russo was in touch with that. He beat Mike Awesome later on, and he had some feuds with Tank Abbott. You remember that?
Yeah, Tank. The fact that Tank was in WCW too is comical.
Right. And so he turned heel again on Kevin Nash by helping Goldberg defeat him in a match where fellow NWO alumnus Scott Hall's contract was on the line, joining the New Blood in the process. So this is when this stuff was so bad. So after WCW was purchased by WWF, unlike many of his colleagues, he did not join the WWF and instead opted to wait until his contract with AOL Time Warner expired later that year before seeking other opportunities. Yep. He went to World Wrestling All-Stars for a year, and then he did return to WWE for, 3 years? Yeah, he signed a 3-year contract with him, 2002 to 2004.
Yeah.
Okay. And then to TNA, right?
Yeah, he went independent for a year, and then went to TNA for a year, or for a couple of years. He was in the Main Event Mafia, which, by the way, one of those underrated things that we don't talk about.
I didn't watch TNA ever, so
Do you know
I
who
hear
was in
about
it?
this stuff.
The main four that were in it to start.
Styles. I don't know. Flair. Nope.
Jay Lethal.
No. Booker T, Kevin Nash, Sting, Scott Steiner.
Okay.
Think about that. If this was 10 years earlier, would have been good. It wasn't bad, though, in WCW. It was still pretty good.
I'm just waiting until they sell that shit so I can get that on the network, too, and Vince can buy that library because TNA had, they had good matches. I just never really watched it.
So, right.
Okay,
and
with Kurt Angle, AJ Styles, Kurt Angle, Sting. All those.
I like the 6-ring.
Right.
Yeah.
6-sided ring.
Yeah.
So
I just never watched it.
There was a triple threat match. We might have to watch this sometime if we pull up TNA anywhere. Mick Foley, AJ Styles, and Brother Devon beat Steiner, Booker T, and Cute Kip.
Billy Gunn. Right?
Yep. Monty Kip's up. So Foley pinned Steiner after a double underhook DDT onto a chair. Wow.
Like you said, they had some decent stuff.
Steiner feuded it later on with Bobby Lashley. Interesting. And then his departure from the company was confirmed the following week after some things happened. He went to World Wrestling Council, returned to TNA. He had a good relationship with Beer Money. You remember Beer Money?
Yeah.
Who was in that? I remember it, but I don't know who was in it. I felt like it would be someone around now.
Yeah. One of them is somebody around now that's in WWE. Brandon?
What show is he on right now?
SmackDown. Maybe.
I don't know.
Nothing?
No idea.
He's with Gable right now.
Oh, Bobby Roode.
Yes. And then
Dope.
James Storm was the other one.
Huh.
And
That's
part of Beer
right.
Money. But one of the best names ever. Beer Money Inc. So this is fun. He goes back to the independent circuit in 2010. Guess who he beat to become the Canadian Wrestling International's first heavyweight champion?
Bret Hart.
What year is this?
2010. The CWI's first heavyweight
Christian.
champion.
That's a good. I like that. I can go
Think
with Christian
think
too.
older and tragic.
Owen Hart.
Oh, man. In 2010,
It's harsh.
Brutus the fucking Barber Beefcake.
Good
He
lord.
still wrestled in 2010?
Yes, and then he retained the title in matches against Kevin Nash and Big Van Vader. And then he went back to Impact Wrestling in 2017 and 2018. Steiner lost to Eli Drake on May 31st, 2018. That's the last thing I have on him. So, a little bit about his career, whatever.
He's got a cleft foot.
Yes, he does. All those steroids he did.
Yeah.
So, what I'm
Very
gonna
true.
What I'm gonna So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna watch. Do you want to pause the show, or just let it go, let it ride?
I mean, we can let it ride. Are we going to be able to hear it?
Yeah, because I'm gonna turn on this.
Okay.
We just won't be able to hear each other, so we'll have to pull ahead.
You can pause it really fast. Let's pull it up and we can.
It's right here.
Well, no, I'm just saying, go ahead and just pause off this really fast.
Okay.
And then we can just see, because it's 22 minutes? All
Yeah, right now
All right.
we're sitting at 36 minutes.
That'll be good. We'll come back here in a minute.
So we'll pause this.
Yep, we'll discuss what we're
So
going to do.
for those that want to watch, I almost want to watch it because just for our reactions to this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm saying just pause it. We'll just talk about it for just 1 minute. We'll come back on. That's all. Just trust me.
We're pausing the show.
Yep.
We'll be back right after these
Dun, dun,
messages from our sponsors. I'm from All Wear Clothing. Do you have your merch?
I need some swag.
Do you have your swag?
No.
Well, I want a popsicle, damn it.
These are the worst ads ever.
Do you have grass?
Just pause the damn thing.
We'll be back. And we're back. We're sorry we had some terrible ads. I was trying to ask, do you have grass?
Yeah. It's dead, though.
I'm sorry, Crandall's Quality Lawn Care cannot help you at this moment in time.
Well, no, it is March and it is cold, so
He could lay some seed.
I doubt it.
Well, he could lay some seed.
I doubt it.
Not
My
at your house.
grass would be good by then if he could lay some seed, but he hasn't, so I don't think he could.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, our ads suck. We need to do better at that.
I blame it on Brandon. His headphones aren't even on. He can't even hear us.
I can hear you just fine.
What? Hey, if Vince McMahon were to get his grass cut and talk to Crandall's Quality Lawn Care, how would that conversation go, Bear?
Sean, cut my grass, you son of a bitch! It looks like shit! Trim my bushes, too! Trim them nice and short!
Which bush?
All of them! All around the side of the house! And the big, long one in the back! Can never get to that one. There, was that better?
Thanks, Vince. All right, so for those of you that want to follow along, we are going to watch Scott Steiner, unscripted and uncensored with a bunch of exclamation points. 22 minutes and 33 seconds. We're going to try to listen and try to still comment on the show and just hopefully laugh our asses off. So stay tuned. Hopefully we can follow along here.
What? What
He
did he
just
even
called
say?
Roddy Piper a queer.
Who is that even walking out?
I have no idea.
This is when he's with Buff.
Steiner, you like stuttered half of that out. Look at those
This is
glasses.
good. With about DDP.
Did you know that DDP's ex-wife was in 40-Year-Old Virgin?
I had no idea.
Yeah, she's the one whose titty falls off.
Oh, nice.
Screaming my name, Steiner.
He was such a dick. Spit
Steiner
on
just
Goldberg.
spit on Goldberg.
Wipe
Spit
sweat
on
on
him
him.
again. Jesus.
He's talking about Ric Flair here, by the way. More new skin than a Shar-Pei puppy.
Jesus. Oh, Steiner. With crooked yellow teeth. He's just going off on this. This is great.
Yeah, he said something about his teeth are still. Your teeth are still crooked, even though you had them whitened.
Oh, Steiner. He can put on such a good promo, but such a bad one at the same time. What? What did he just say?
I don't know what he's saying right now.
WCW sucks.
He just flips off Hogan.
Hogan, fuck you. You bleached your teeth.
Well, they're still crooked as hell.
Steiner. It's just a whole bunch of mumbling. That's like all that it is.
He ran him out so he could be champ. Spot on his head.
Look at Mike Awesome. It's not an athletic spot. What was that chick's name to the left? I can't. Medusa,
China.
No.
Japan.
Mediva or something like
I
that.
have no
Shit,
idea.
camel toe like crazy.
Oh, that's pulling right up. Look at the old Superstation ad in the top
I know,
right.
I was just gonna say
TBS.
God. Steiner still calling out Hogan. Oh, this is so long-winded. This is like, it hurts to listen to.
Booty daddy.
Yelling at Russo.
And then he gets Eric.
I like how he just puts his foot on the bottom rope.
Who hasn't been with his wife?
Well, we know Canyon hasn't. He was gay. Steiner.
Size does matter.
Steiner.
Some of this is like watching Sid Vicious do a promo.
I have a comment about that later. I'll just say it now.
Steiner.
Could you imagine Sid and him in a feud?
It would be
The promos would be
it'd be the worst
awful.
promos, but the best promos.
He's so bad.
I just love the one with Sid and Mean Gene. He's like, "We're live. You can't
live,
just start this over. We're live."
Steiner. God. What are we at?
6 minutes.
Mark. Oh God, my ears are gonna bleed at the end of this thing. Jesus, Steiner. Is this all? Does this go into like WWE at all, or is it all just Nitro stuff?
I think it's all Nitro.
It is unscripted and uncensored, so I mean, it could go for a little bit, but I mean, a lot of it would be there.
I don't think he cut that many promos.
There's
there's
WWE in
Okay.
there.
All right.
In like 8 more minutes.
Damn, no, sure how. What the hell was that? Jesus.
Bad booty daddy.
Oh, Steiner. He is the great Mark Madden. He is the greatest man alive.
Holler if you hear me.
Mike Tenay. Love Mike Tenay.
Yep, me too.
Everybody knows that the Frankenstein. You called the Hurricane. Why? Why? It was an attempt to get luchadors over at the time. That's all.
I was hoping they were, when WCW ended that they were going to bring him in, but
When somebody sees me again, if you call it Hurricane, I'm coming down, right? I'm coming down to the desk.
down to the desk.
Who is that? Oh, is that the cat? Ernest Miller?
I don't know
Yeah.
who it is.
Russo.
Vince is so bad.
Hey, see that? See what happened when you touch someone, Brandon, right there? Russo just touched him, and he would have got his ass knocked out. Grown-ass man. Nash. Jimmy Bucket wearing sandals? Jeez. I'm going to get one of those. Goldberg, you bald-headed bastard. I'm getting that chain thing. I'm going to wear it around.
I'm gonna have my freaks horizontal.
So they can see the Big Dipper. All they gotta do is trust Big Poppa, 'cause I'm the man with the Big Dipper, and satisfaction's coming when I go behind and do the bump and grind.
Is that all he does is just rhyme? Like, I feel like that's it. Just rhyme after rhyme after rhyme.
I only care about two things in this world: my freaks and my peaks. And when I beat your bald ass down at Bob Raw, and I'm about to put you in a Steiner recliner, I'm gonna whisper in your ear.
Does matter. Jesus.
I said I was gonna beat your bald punk ass. I said I was gonna prove to you something my freaks know all along. That size does matter. It was a war. But I have to apologize to some of you Goldberg fans.
Medeja. That was her name. It just came to me.
Medeja.
And make him resign.
Don't show that to Brandon. Get excited.
Sexy.
He's gonna be the big bad chicken tender daddy.
You'll have to leave to go to Olive Garden right now.
That'd be nice.
Oh, why is Russo wearing a cutoff? He looks so trashy.
Yeah, he's so terrible.
Because he is trashy.
And there's only one thing left. And that's for me to be the world champion.
Do you think Paul Rudd could be Scott Steiner?
No. No.
How about Steve Carell?
That's Steve Carell might. Seth Rogen could.
I was about to say Seth Rogen could. God, Master Pump a lot.
Gotta love a good live show. Oh boy.
Jeez.
Talking to Flair.
With his haircut too. Jesus.
Oh, this is good. Hold on.
Saved by the Bellcat.
Explains all the ugliness coming out of here.
Talking to Stevie Ray.
Why is that gold?
Ric Flair says he's had me. That's a
Why haven't I watched this before?
because he's scared.
Doesn't that look like Paige, though, at that point? Paige now.
A little bit, yeah.
You're fucking me with the cat. Cat, you better have 9 lives. You're like a sheep coming to slaughter.
That might be the best. Scott Steiner bawling like a sheep. Largest arms in the world.
If my freaks are gonna take me back to my hotel room and they're gonna beat me,
Gene laughing.
Horizontal with the heavyweight champion of the world. See, I'm gonna climb up on top. I've been hitting switches on bitches all my life.
Switches on
bitches. This has got to be indie stuff. RVD, what is that?
World Japan.
Oh, this is Japan. They're in Japan for sure. With Ray's, with the brother too. Look at-
And starts doing push-ups.
Not yet. Is that China? It looked like China.
No, that wasn't China.
Give me the fucking mic. That's in WWE.
Yep.
Oh, that's what's his
Test.
That's Tess.
It's Chris Nowitzki.
Yeah, there you go. Wait, what did you say?
You gonna suck my dick or what? Jesus. Al Snow.
Stacy Keebler.
Of a woman's juices. Tess couldn't show what it's like to be with a real man. The big guys draw money, huh?
Ooh, shoot interview.
So that's a fact. It's always been a fact.
Can we get Scott Steiner on the podcast?
I wish. That'd be hilarious.
At TNA now.
You're not big enough, you're not strong enough, and you don't have enough power to match the man with the largest arms in the world and picking a partner from Canada. You would have been better off picking a partner from Ethiopia.
I got a partner from. Look at Jeff Jarrett. He's trying not to laugh.
Don't you call that half-breed Samoa Joe? You call him for what he is. That fat bastard. Sloppy Joe.
Sloppy Joe.
Watch TV right now. With fat, losing over the fat line. I want you to be me. And I know that there's TA management that wants you to be me because I don't follow their rules. And they're trying to sell this DVD, this bogus DVD called The Best of Samoa Joe.
They put out Best of Samoa Joe? Ooh.
It's unsellable.
Who's that loser holding the mic?
Samoa Joe.
He's wearing a shark necklace hat.
They call me Big Papa Pump. Tonight, Samoa Joe, your win streak ends. Tonight, I kill you.
Jesus. Tonight I kill you. Goodness.
He's half the man I am. But he starts hating on me because I call him a fat bastard. Small Joe hates your parents because they give you an extra fat cell and an extra Y chromosome. Easy all time.
Hate your parents because they gave you an extra fat chromosome?
Everybody knows that son of a bitch can't donut. If I was his time, his area. Christian Cage wants to take your time to go to the gym, maybe work out, eat a steak, stick man.
Eat a steak, stick man?
Call Mexico North.
Go back to Canada, the place we call Mexico North.
Dumb myself down. But apparently that was stupid enough. Cage. Everybody knows American white trash is up here, and then Canadian white trash is way down here. What's it like roaming Earth, the lowest form of Homo sapien there is? Shut up. No, shut up, man. You are right there. You got a right there truck. Get a GPS.
Who is that? Is it Tyson Tomko? It is.
I thought it was Buchanan for a second.
Whoa.
you want to feel like you real man? Huh? You want to kiss that? Kiss that, baby. Huh?
Jesus.
You damn right, I'm going to show Kurt Angle that I'm not going to be nice tonight. Kurt Angle.
Does he have a chain hanging from his
Yes,
beard?
I noticed that too across.
Say I'm Santa. Ah. Look at her face. God, look how old Rick Steiner looks
Yeah,
there.
he is.
Ooh.
We're gonna beat you at your own game. And after it's all said and done, you're gonna be taking splinters out of your fat asses. All that time because you got fat asses. You have no chance, but you had a chance is you can run lickety split. But you can't run your fat asses. After it's all done, we're gonna have a tailgate party for all my freaks out there in Atlanta, Georgia. This next contest is
Just ring up a card and he can't even do that.
introducing first, hailing from Dunkin' Donuts, from the great state of obesity,
Jeez.
3D.
Oh, Bubba is big there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now, do we have a statement to make?
Kurt Angle.
Yes, we do. And that's
Main Event Mafia.
made at the top of the hour. Hey, she was 19, Jeremy. No. She was Mr. Huffman here.
She was 19.
Some facial paint on our sort of put you some tough guy that you scare me or something. Listen, he's a fat, out of shape, wannabe Samoan. I know Samoans. And he's no half-breed. He is a half-breed Samoan. I know purebred Samoans, and he is half-bred.
Jeez.
Rats.
What's he lifting? 30 pounds?
Rats. Just because he cuts his
Oh, he's got 2 on it.
He thinks he's threatened me? I beat him before, I beat him again. He's still a fat bastard. I'm not afraid of him. I'm not smarter than a Twinkie.
I'm afraid of him. I was smothered in Twinkies.
Her dressed as a hamburger.
Got that? Those are big clothes. I got a fat, out-of-shape Samoan. I'm down with a sword or some
God, he looks so stupid
Yeah,
with
he
that
look-
backwards hat.
hamburger or something.
How skinny Kurt Angle looks.
Right.
How much genetic freak? What does he see? What does he see? A piece of bacon. You take care of Sting on your own. This fat son of a has been world champion before. Been in this business 15, 20 years. This
Gosh, this is-
bitch
Jesus.
all out. He's fat.
There's Sting standing up in the back.
If he doesn't
He's
bleed,
fat.
he'll bleed. Every day that I wake up,
Matt Morgan.
you people, I wake up in a good mood.
Is it?
Yeah, that's my move.
Yeah.
Dude, all the just busted talent that went there.
He was like supposed to be like the next big thing. Matt
Uh-huh.
Morgan.
Yeah.
You claim to be the DNA of TNA.
Yeah. He is the.
It's up to you. If I had your DNA, if I had your genetics, I'd shoot myself.
Oh my gosh.
I'd kill myself, then I'd hang myself. Exactly.
What was that?
Bro, let's finish what we started. Will you quit? It's too late for that. It worked for you. It worked for me, not for you.
He's pumping it. It worked for me, not for you.
Bully Ray, which is an awesome character, by the way.
7 days in a week. Man, you ain't big pop. I'm a big baby.
I get ladies 9. What is it? 9 days a week.
English! Yeah. Bully Ray, English!
He'll want these women. And according to his girlfriend, the way she like, he's gonna go crazy. Keep AJ in the ring, get those other son of bitches out of here, and we're gonna beat AJ. Exactly. Just the way you said it. Just right. No! Get the Get the dumbbells. It's too late.
It's too late.
Abyss.
There's your buddy Abyss,
Yeah.
Brandon.
It's still weird that he's a WWE producer.
12 years.
Bully Ray wearing a Hulkamania shirt.
How the hell am I supposed to give you notice? I don't even have your cell phone number. That's because I didn't give it to you.
I don't even have your cell phone number. That's because I didn't give it to you.
You're big Poppa pump. You're the big bad booty daddy. The largest arms in the world.
That Brooklyn accent.
Hey, take care of this thing. You've been taking care of them for the past 20 years. Take my chain. That's the one I wrapped around your neck. Take it out. I got a little time. Take it up and I'll knock his ass out with it. Do it. Because you can. And I will. Go get him. Get him, Steiner.
That Orlando crowd, they were really getting behind you. I mean, busting out Hurricane Rana's here in Orlando is still unbelievable.
It's a Frankenstein. It's not a hurricane.
Very true.
That's a move that they copied from me. That's a move I invented. Don't ever call it Hurricane Rana.
Frankenstein.
What are you talking to me? All right?
That dude was scared. Woo! That was fun.
Don't ever call it a Hurricane Rana. Don't ever.
It's a Frankensteiner. I invented it.
Oh, Jesus. So that was insane. So I have one more that I have here. It's not as long. It's 5 minutes. It's Scott Steiner versus the English language.
University, so when I come out and speak to this white trash, I gotta dumb myself down. I gotta dumb myself down. Dumb myself down.
So some of this we've heard.
Right, sit down, white trash. Bitch, I'm sitting here and kick somebody's ass. So all you white trash right now, sit down, get on your knees, and pay homage to the next world champion.
A lot of this we've heard.
See, I control the landscape, bitch. Well, see, I come from a highly educated university. That's why I got a college skip. That's why I was an All-American in Michigan.
A collar skip.
But at Mayhem.
How did he make it through Michigan? I mean, God, I hate the university, but they are a very,
High education.
yeah, very high education.
You're.
That was it?
Because you are no match for the man with the largest arms in the world. Bitch.
Or just abs? Is that what you just said?
Chance of winning. And I'm going to look at the whole world. And I'm going to say Vinny B. Bucci. See, I come from a highly educated university. And they add 66 and 2/3. Your chance of winning drastically goes down. See, throughout my career, I've wrestled a lot of countries. Bitch.
I wrestled a lot.
This is like Chris Nowinski.
Terrorists started this. Terrorism started this. And they know that they don't have to
That was the debate with the war. That was that was funny.
That was.
So the stars can touch the sky and
Look at Gene.
so they can see the Big Dipper. Man,
Yeah, we heard this earlier.
my eyes on you. One eye's on them, one eye's on you, bitch.
One eye's on you, one eye's on them.
Has been known to harbor, finance, support, and even train terrorism. They started it. Terrorism started, not us. Now, shut up, man. Right there. Oh, we got it right there. Slap it. Give it to me. Yeah, don't. Give my bags. Give my bags. The Dixie chicks, all those Hollywood numbnuts. That don't support.
Some of the Dixie Chicks hated on Bush.
Yep.
Yep.
These fans love that too. They must have been in Alabama.
Same difference. See, I come from a highly educated university, so when I come out and speak to this white trash, I gotta dumb myself down. Now I'm looking at you.
There's Samoa Joe, young Samoa Joe.
Yep.
You're gonna be taking splinters out of your fat ass all night long. You got fat ass. Can't run this fat ass. But you don't know me. And you don't know what I'm capable of. Bitch. Everybody wants to know where I've been. Well, see, I come from a highly educated university, so when I come out and speak to this white trash, I gotta dumb myself down. Give me a fucking mic.
Scott, can I just get a word with you just for a minute? Is that okay?
Yeah, we heard this earlier.
Kiss that, baby.
It's like they keep going back to that one.
Yeah. Bitch.
I'm doing you a ham and egg.
You need to go up there tonight. When you
Who is
go
that?
fight, man,
I have no idea.
Extreme boom shakalaka. You didn't howl at the moon. Tonight, I'm laying down the gauntlet. You whether I'm in the ring or out of the ring. See, when I have my freaks horizontal, they understand size. Big Poppa pumped you hooked up. And the next heavyweight championship of the world.
On the world.
Next heavyweight championship.
When I come from a highly educated university, so when I come out and speak these white trash, I just dumb myself down. Ah, fuck off. Shut up.
God, Steiner.
I'm gonna whisper in your ear. Size does matter, bitch. We got a match tonight. That's Black McCheeseball and Mahatma Gandhi.
Mahatma Gandhi.
Black Machismo. Remember who that was?
No,
Jay Lethal.
that's right.
When he was Macho Man.
Yeah, that's right.
What do you think of the big chest tattoo that he got?
I'm gonna do this with you. Fracture in my face. I came here to kick somebody's bitch. Well, see, I come from a highly educated university, so when I come out and speak these white trash, I gotta dumb myself down. Bitch. Bitch.
God.
Steiner is. Whew. Steiner's something else, isn't he?
He is something else, to say the least. That put us over an hour.
Oh, that's good.
Hour
right
and
there.
7 minutes. You
Thanks
know,
for that.
we got a little bit more to go on the shows. So, did you get anything from Jason?
Yes. So he was actually in town last week. I saw him Tuesday, and he had a meeting Wednesday up close to our place. So I tried to get him, to stop back down on Wednesday to do a guest appearance. We had two other people from his plant with him, and
that would've
they
been
said
awesome.
no. Which makes sense. They have families. They do have to get back to those. They were gone for a couple days, but I thought it was pretty good. So I got to see him for a little bit, talked about the podcast. He finds it completely entertaining. And the two guys that he works with both work in the office around him, and confirms that he does blare the podcast on his office, so they know about it. One of them is a sports fan, so not a big wrestling fan. So I said, well, then you don't have to listen to the Sunday episode, just listen to the Wednesday episode. So we do a whole bunch of stuff with that. So I might have another follower for us off of that. But he did give us just a single because he was traveling, so we didn't get a lot from him. I got what happens to Bruce and Conrad's podcast now that Bruce is back with the WWE.
That is a great question.
That's his only question.
That is a great question. And I think it still happens. It's only once a week, but it does require a lot of research on Conrad's part.
Which he already does.
Which he already does. Bruce, just remembers it and goes off the cuff. So he can just call up Bruce. If Bruce still has to travel, so he might do a lot of it traveling.
I bet.
show to
I
show.
would guess that they probably put something in with that he can probably work a decent amount. I mean, because now it's not what it used to be. He's not traveling everywhere, so
he's probably going to do like TV shows.
The problem is that being a writer, says he got hired head of creative, right?
I don't know if he's head of creative. He might have.
I think that's what they hired him in a top creative role.
Yeah, he's in a top role.
I think it is the top creative role.
It might be. You might absolutely be right. I'll check that out while you're talking.
But if he did do that, and what I saw was he said he will still do the podcast.
Right.
The problem is that they normally do the podcast Sunday, and it drops Monday. Well, obviously now, if he's probably got to be to Raw, and maybe if he does travel there on Monday instead of Sunday, I would imagine it would probably be like a Sunday night thing into Monday. I'm not exactly sure what the travel would be, but maybe they change the day of the podcast if he's doing Monday or something like that. Maybe they change it to like Saturday or something like that.
Yeah, it just says he's going to be a key writer on the wrestling staff. They still have a lot of their dates. They still
he's still going to Australia on the 22nd of March.
I know he has to. He said he's still going to fulfill the dates that he does, which is nice now because now I'm happy I saw him. I mean, they might not get that opportunity. They're going to be in Cleveland.
I know. I really wanted to go
next week, actually, a week from today, before Fastlane.
Really wanted to go to that, but
why didn't you say something?
because I'm poor. So
The tickets are like $30. I could have bought it.
Oh, I thought they were more
I
than
could have
that.
bought it as an early Christmas gift. Gary and I would have split your ticket.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, thanks for telling us, Brandon. It's not going to happen now, so good
Yeah.
job there.
sorry.
We've been able to meet him and shake his hand. You probably would have just stared like
I
John
probably
Cena
would've.
in a little clown car driving by.
That was funny though.
But
What? That was-
I think that
that
it's
was John.
no, but I
Well-
saw that he's and he obviously they can say anything, but that podcast is why he's back with the WWE. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. He is head of creative. Last
Yeah.
night's I'm reading this
No, that's
from
fine. Go ahead.
WrestlingInc.com. It says last night, so this would have been Raw on Monday. I keep saying last. I'm reading this quote. Last night's episode was the first with Bruce Pritchard back as head of creative.
So he did Monday. Wow, okay.
Clearly had a lot of influence last night. After the show, Pritchard spent a fair amount of time talking with Reigns one-on-one in the hallway.
That's wow. Because that hire was what? It had to be last weekend. It was announced like
So he was
last
there
Friday,
Monday.
Saturday, and
Yeah.
he was already there Monday.
Yeah, the 23rd.
Because obviously Arn Anderson got released.
So,
So-
and I wouldn't be
But
shocked
Arn
if he was the
Anderson
one that
wasn't-
came up with how to use Batista in that
Right.
to pull out Flair and
mean,
what to give him. Bruce knows what people want now because and I really think my fear was Bruce is of Vince's generation and was Vince's right hand for years. So it's like, is he going to hold Triple H back from being the successor?
No.
I was fear of that, but I don't think
No.
so because Bruce knows what the people want because of the podcast and
Yeah.
what we see and what people say to him and what people
He's had
cover.
2 years now of this feedback.
Yes.
And of not only the podcast,
Right.
but of the traveling shows and getting to talk to wrestling fans all over the country, all over the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, I think he knows. And I think he understands, too. They probably told him, hey, look, Triple H is, Hunter's the next guy. It's going to happen. I don't see why they wouldn't. I think everyone would know that. And he'd probably just help him out, too. I would be shocked if he didn't write for maybe NXT a little bit. I know Triple H probably does a majority of that, but he might fill his hand in there. You never know.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you think now that he might be back, why do you think they brought him back?
I think we all know because the creative sucked for the last 3 years.
Well, I think it's because AEW.
I think that plays a huge
is
factor.
starting
I
up
agree.
recently. So they need.
I don't think so because Conrad has pull with that, and you think that they would have pulled him a long time ago. I think they did it because of AEW, but I don't think they did it because AEW, or I'm sorry, maybe I took that the wrong way. Are you saying because AEW would have hired him, or because AEW is just there?
Yeah.
AEW is just there.
Okay, then yes, that I could see. Not because they would have wanted him,
No,
because
no.
I mean, Conrad has pull with all of them, so I feel like they could have got, he would have got in there if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bruce could have easily got in there if he wanted to.
Well, and you're right too. The creative lately has just hasn't been.
Well, do you
good.
think if Arn Anderson didn't get fired, he would have still been there?
Well, I think Arn Anderson was an agent. I don't think he was creative.
Well, and Arn Anderson got fired because he had an incident with Vince. And there's people that took Arn Anderson's side. There's people that took Vince's side.
Also, there was an incident.
Yeah, there was an
I
incident. It was
just
at
thought
more will
a,
come
it was
out.
it was at a house show, and they weren't on the best of terms to begin with. If you read into it,
Well, I just
But-
thought he resigned, and it was like kind of like a retirement done.
Well, yeah, because everybody's keeping hush hush on what happened. They kind of want to brush it under the rug. You think about the things that happened. Something that I brought up, which we'll talk about later, some like controversial things, which I can just mention now. So you think of like people in the Hall of Fame and things that people brush under the rug, like Jimmy Snuka, Hall of Fame,
It killed a person.
right?
Yeah.
Scott Hall, people don't talk about this one. 1983, killed a person, shot him.
Yeah, but that was didn't they go
Self-defense.
through? Yep.
They went through everything,
self-defense,
yes.
crime,
But it's
yeah,
things that,
everything.
like, we know it as wrestling fans who have been wrestling fans for years. Other people won't know that. They'll be like, he killed somebody. They brush many things under the rug. I think we know that. The stuff with Vince and, people don't make a big deal out of it, but was he ruthless to some things to get to the top? Yeah.
Sure.
But he's a businessman. Everybody's going to think he's ruthless, depending if you're coming from the side that can't hold your shit up against somebody else. If he didn't do it, somebody else would have.
Absolutely.
And he had the brains and balls to do it. So people were just watching. They didn't try to come after him. What'd they do? They just sat there waiting for him to fail. Oh, you're the son. You're junior. You're going to fail.
Exactly, and it didn't happen. That's why you keep
And then
pushing.
that's why people are pissed off.
Exactly. Well, and that's how you know you're doing good. Once people start hating you, that's how you know you're doing something good.
Yep.
Because everyone's jealous nowadays. No one can be happy for someone and success.
Right. So, good question, Jason. I like that one. So, with Jeremy, as for Steiner, he was never a fan of his. But I will say he had one of the most memorable finishes I ever saw, which occurred in the 1993 Royal Rumble against the Beverly Brothers. It was a perfectly executed vicious Frankensteiner. So you guys watch it and react. It's here at about the 12-15 minute mark on Daily Motion. So we're going to watch it real quick. I'm going to try to get to the, he said it's 12:15, the 12-15 minute mark. Oh, look at that. Gorilla and Heenan.
Gorilla and Bobby. Oh, yeah.
So we'll get to about the 12. I'll get to about
12 minutes. There you go. Just go to 11:54.
We're going to turn the sound on real quick.
I'm sure it's a big Frankensteiner.
Didn't we see this? We saw this about a couple months ago, didn't we?
Oh, this is going to be nuts.
Hey, that almost kills him.
Does he land on his neck
There we
here?
go.
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh, yeah. Like it was like a DDT. Oh.
Yeah, you got to play that back. It happened.
I wonder if he got knocked out there. Oh. That's a nasty one.
Gosh. So we got to play that back one more time. They're terrible music. Did you see it, Brandon? First time, kind of?
Roughly.
Oh, I mean, right on top of his head.
Right on top of his head. Ooh, that was vicious. You were right, Jeremy. That was nuts. That was nuts. But yeah, he wanted us to watch and react to it and see kind of what we thought of it.
Yeah, holy moly.
Right. So final thoughts. I talked about that. Jimmy Snuka. Did you know that he was charged? He was charged for murder. You know what happened from that? When he finally got charged a few years ago.
Well, he got like stomach cancer or something. And they just pushed back his trial
They
date
found
and
him to be
everything.
mentally incompetent.
Well, that too.
Yeah. Another fun thing. Did you know that Michael Hayes? You know who Michael Hayes is,
Yep.
right? And he used a racial comment with Mark Henry, and he's still the head of road agents and producers. Management killed the buzz on it, and Mark was pissed with how it was brushed under the rug. So things like that you don't hear.
Right.
He's still the head of that.
Just watched his documentary, by the way. It was.
Oh yeah,
good.
so you did see it. Good.
Yeah.
So
I was going to bring it up when you were doing the Vince impression, just because. Well, why? What's the significance between the hand? It's a hand.
like I told you. I said, well, it's a hand. Damn it. He's going to give birth, but there's a significance, right? It's a hand. It's a hand. I love that. So we got another contributor, Toby Bryant, Kobe's distant relative, fifth cousin, twice removed.
I like it.
Hottest pro wrestling take. This is going to cause some controversy. Scott Steiner. See, I listen to this shit. Now I'm struggling with English. Controversy. He says, the hottest pro wrestling take of all time. Brock Lesnar is the GOAT. And if he fought Meng, he walks out hand raised. Put him in any era, any organization, he fits in and dominates. Any metric, he's got to be near the top. He sells out arenas, t-shirts, pay-per-view buys. I'm not as hardcore as wrestling as I used to be, but when he comes I look. When he comes back, I look. He was two-time IWGP champ and put in an attorney. And if you put him in an attorney with Meng, Harley races the Steiners, he takes them all out pound for pound. He's legit.
Yeah, maybe in the wrestling ring. I mean, I'm assuming he's not talking about a shoot fight because Meng would probably kill him. I mean, he couldn't even beat Cain Velasquez, so we're just talking. But I don't think that's. It may be a hot take. I wouldn't say he's the GOAT, but I can agree. He does sell a lot. He sells a lot of merch. Everyone does come to see Brock Lesnar.
Right.
And you're right. He's a big dude. He could, in any era, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. I mean, if he was in the Attitude Era, I think he might have been bigger than Stone Cold just because of the mouth he has. But he'd have to learn how to use it because he's not that good of a talker.
Yeah.
No,
That's why Paul Heyman talks for him. So he can't cut a good promo, but I don't think he's got much of an opportunity also to, look at that.
Right.
All right, my opinion.
Brandon?
No, I agree.
All right. And then the next thing he said, I asked him anything about Scott Steiner. He said, Steiner screwdriver, sickest move ever. Have you seen it?
No.
Do you remember it?
No.
Have you seen it? That was his finisher when he was in early years of WWE. It is a sweet finish.
Let's check it out.
Sorry.
Look at him holding him up, though.
Oh, jeez.
It's like got into a pile driver.
Good Lord.
So that's the Steiner screwdriver. See, I'm watching too much Scott Steiner.
Look at that mullet.
Jeez. Yeah, that can't be
That-
safe.
that
That's
knee
probably
right
why
on
he
the
doesn't
back of
do
the
that anymore.
head.
Well, he can't with his club foot, too.
I'll watch one more.
Yep.
Oh.
Jeez.
But
Yeah,
you know, he's
he
right.
Only does that on jobbers, probably. There's no way he's doing that. Is that Matt Hardy? Is that what he just said? It is. Come on, Hardy,
Who?
kick your feet. That's Matt Hardy.
Who he just did, who's doing it on?
Yeah,
No, it's not.
that's what he just said. Didn't he?
Let's
That is
rewind.
not Matt Hardy.
Matt Curry.
I'm like, that is not.
Sorry, guys. I wasn't even that off. And Hardy wore something like that when he came in. So.
Yeah. So
Boom
what he said
shakalaka.
about that was sickest move ever. It is one of the sickest. And then I asked him about Kofi, and he said Black History Month's playing a big factor. So
No.
that's part of his
No,
take.
it's not.
No.
Gosh.
That's a hotter take than Lesnar being the GOAT.
Toby Bryant is a black man. So
I'm just saying that's a I don't think that's a great take. I don't care who you are. That's not a good take. You telling me Kofi
It's
doesn't have
like-
his due?
well, Kofi has his due finally. I don't think it plays as I told him I was like, I don't know if it plays as big a part as you think. And he's like, think of Mark Henry. Look at the time he was pushed. Same time. And I was like, that's a good point, but I don't think it is now. I think
It just
I
has to
think
be
it was just
WrestleMania season.
it just happened to be WrestleMania season. I think it was dumb luck because Mustafa got out and then he came in, but I think it was kind of planned too when you look at it. So next week we're watching No Way Out 2004. We're going to watch Eddie versus Brock. Should be a good match.
Yeah.
And then the following week, Jeremy, I asked him to give me a wrestler to cover in 2 weeks. So we're now talking March 17th is what we're going to do. Who do you think he gave me? Now, remember, Jeremy's an
Fit Finlay.
old school. Jeremy's old school.
Fit Finlay.
Macho Man.
Jacques Rougeau.
I was going
Rougeau?
with the St. Patrick's Day theme, but
Rougeau, yeah.
I guess not.
Rogu. It sounds like
Ragu.
knockoff ragu.
Yeah.
Give me that Rogu.
Jacques Rougeau.
Why didn't you get ragu? I want to pay the $4. I want to pay the $2.50 for the Rogu.
Brandon, do you know who that is?
No, like I said, I was going with the St. Patrick's Day theme, so that's why I said Fit Finlay, but hey, whatever.
It's the Mountie.
The what?
The Mountie.
The person, the Mountie.
Brandon didn't watch anything past 96, so
he's
he
one of the
doesn't know.
few people to pin.
I think I know. I can picture it.
He's
but-
one of the few people to pin Hogan clean, which we'll
Okay.
cover then, and he's one of the few people that beat Brett and Hogan.
No, I don't remember him, but yeah.
All right, so on this date,
I don't remember him, but I kind of can get a picture of it, but
yeah, we'll check him out then.
He looks like a Mountie.
yeah, I know.
So on this date in wrestling history, this being March 3rd, 22 years ago, WWF aired the final Monday Night Raw before the name changed to,
Raw is War.
correct, from Berlin, Germany. British Bulldog became the first ever WWF European Champion, defeating his tag team partner, which was
Bret Hart.
No.
the King of Hearts. Come on.
Owen Hart.
Yes. And 11 years ago, the Cruiserweight Championship was retired. Trivia question. Who was the last champion up until now? I know it's back.
11
But
years ago, so 2000.
2008. Jamie Noble.
That's a good guess. Billy Kidman.
Hornswoggle.
Oh, wow. You could have
that's
given
why
me
they're
100 guesses, and I don't think I would have guessed that.
And then 10 years ago, Mr. T said in an interview with the UK Mirror he had turned down an invitation to go into the WWE Hall of Fame. What was his reason?
I pity the fool. I pity the fool.
That's it. I like that. That was...
You're pretty much online. Pete Rose got in first. That's what he said.
I pity the fool.
And then 5 years ago, Sami Zayn and Cesaro stole the show at NXT Arrival. So,
Okay.
fun things in history.
Okay.
What'd you think about the Scott Steiner show?
Wow.
Hopefully Jason enjoys it
I saw a little bit of
or
that.
enjoyed it at this point.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm gonna have to watch more Scott Steiner YouTube stuff.
But
The
I'm
big
telling-
bad booty daddy.
I'm telling you, him and Sid Vicious
Oh, it'd be great. I had it in
had
my
a
notes.
promo. Good lord.
No, if they had a whole angle.
That's what I'm saying. Like, oh, okay, yeah, whole angle. I mean, it would be freaking
He's like,
hilarious.
what would he say to him? You fat bastard, you piece of shit.
Yeah, that'd be about it. You half breed, you redneck. That's all he has.
If I'm half the man that I was like, if I'm half the man, or whatever the hell he said. That was I can't.
Are you
remember
talking about
the-
Sid?
Yeah, so he's like, if you're the whole man, then I'm half the man, or something like it was.
If I'm half the man that you are.
It's something like that.
If they just,
And I'm half the man that you are. And he's like, I mean,
if they just had a promo off, they wouldn't even make it to a match. They would just keep going until one of them stuttered their way to it.
well, one has a shattered leg, one has a clipped foot.
Yeah,
So
it'd be a pretty good match then. Sounds like.
Yeah.
leg versus leg.
Tonight we're gonna put you in a tag team match with the Undertaker player.
Teddy Long.
Thank you.
I like your Teddy Long. The player gave it away.
It wasn't a good Teddy Long. I just had to throw the player in there.
And then it was Teddy Long.
You go 1-on-1 with the Undertaker player.
Perfect. All right. Anything else for this one?
No.
Nah.
So again, next Sunday we've got No Way Out, which will actually,
And our Fastlane picks.
yeah, you're right. And
Yeah.
because it's next Sunday night, so we'll have it in the daytime. Hopefully we'll get Jake's ahead of time. So
I
next,
prefer when he picks later. That's the best because it doesn't really matter
it's
anyways.
fun.
You don't know.
You know what though?
But he's not. We're not here to influence him.
So next Sunday though is episode 60. 9 more.
Ah,
We've already named it, didn't we? Getting the Pole 3, Bear's Revenge.
yep.
Yep. So just so everybody knows, that's episode 69. It's the sequel to the sequel of Getting the Pole.
Sequel to the prequel.
So we got so 78, I guess, will be the prequel.
96.
Well, 78, remember? You got to get 8, or no, 77, you get 8 more. So we got 77. Getting the Pole, 8 more, the prequel.
Yeah. All right.
So that's bad. We already know these. Oh, gosh. Thanks to Wes Anderson, Moments in Time. Wes Anderson Music on Facebook. Give him a follow on Twitter, Songs by Wes. I'll wear clothing. Crandall's Quality Lawn Care. PNC Verizon. Charlie's Dodge. Thanks all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night.
What, Brandon? You want to say something?
No, go ahead.
I got nothing. I just want to see if you're going to say something or not.
I pity the fool.
Jackass.